Hello aspirants, welcome to another new session in GDC online classes, especially in pharmacognosy session. Yes, my dear students, we have covered a lot of topics up to the previous sessions. So they are very important classes or they are very important topics with respect to GPAT examination, and I have added another important topic in this session, that is plant biotechnology. From this topic also we are having a three important from this segment also we are having three important topics, so that things we are going to cover in this session. Okay, yes, the first and foremostly plant biotechnology. What do you mean by biotechnology, or what do you mean by plant biotechnology? You can, so for that understanding I have displayed an image here. So one person holding with the forceps and a leaf, and also it is placed on a sterile nutrient media and some other nutrients, and all these things were added or they are displayed. So which means, so by this image you should understand that, so we can, the plant biotechnology is nothing but to get desirable traits or to get a desirable quality of plant varieties. I'll simply tell you that we know that we are having, we can, in the market itself we can get a raw mangoes or raw guavas and other fruits, even from very little size to very bigger size. Maybe this product or this particular fruit doesn't maybe have, may or may not have the particular yumminess or delicious principles. Okay, and how these are attained? The bigger fruits, the colorful flowers, the new varieties, high yield products and high taste products, high taste fruits, seedless fruits, a short hybrid variety plants which will give very good amount of yield even within a short height and very less time. How these parameters or how these things are getting are attained? By means of plant biotechnology. Just we are altering their gene modification, their other internal structures to make a desirable end plant product or end plant. Okay, so even though we are having a mango, a big tree also there which will give us same fruits, even though we have a little tree, a small or a little amount, a medium high tree also there which will give the same fruits, but here this is nothing but plant biotechnology, where we can do the changes in existing plant varieties to produce a new variety which is having diverse qualities. Okay, yes, you can see in this first one, in the plant biotechnology we are having an important topics, especially the three important segments that we are going to cover. First we'll see what is plant biotechnology. The plant biotechnology can be defined as an introduction of desirable traits into the plants through genetic modifications. Simply, plant biotechnology. That's the reason I have shown you the image, the person holding with the forceps. Okay, yes. So in this thing, we do the genetic modifications to get a desirable traits or to get a desirable plant. Traits are nothing but a quality. Okay, or variety simply. Okay, so do either it's we are having a three main concepts: polyploidy, mutation, hybridization. Any of that concept, any of the process will be having introduction or incorporation of a different method, different species or different reagents, different causative organisms to get the desirable one. Clear? Yes, that's about the plant biotechnology. It is nothing but introduction or making a genetic modification. Simply by making genetic modification we can get whatever, what the short plants, the higher plants, the colorful fruits, seedless fruits, everything we can get. That's what it meant by simply the genetic modification will be involved to get a desirable plant traits. Clear? Yes. We'll see what do you mean by polyploidy. Now we'll see what do you mean by polyploidy. In some organisms, the chromosomes can be grouped not in pairs but in 3, 4 and higher numbers. So the existence of more than 2 sets of chromosomes is called as polyploidy. Yes, we know that. There is a biological phase called mitosis and meiosis. So where the active or the living organisms will go through and to form a desirable end products, or nothing but a plant or living organism, even though we have both the reactions or both phases. Okay, as like how the formation of chromosomes will be there. Okay, but if a two set of chromosomes are there, that is a haploid. That's a haploid. A set of chromosomes called as haploid. If more than that, that is a normal condition. Haploid is a normal condition. If it is more than that of normal conditions like haploid, if it is more than two sets of chromosomes, that is a polyploidy. More than two. Ploidy. Or haploid means set of chromosomes. A poly means many. Clear? So many chromosomes or too many, more than two sets of chromosomes to be considered as a polyploidy. Okay. Yes. These polyploidy maybe exist in the forms like triploid, which means three sets of chromosomes, tetraploid, octoploid. 5 and 8 sets of chromosomes are there, so that we can name it as tetraploid and octoploid. Yes, but majorly these polyploidies are of two types. One is autoploidy and one is alloploidy. Autoploidy or alloploidy, or autopolyploidy or allopolyploidy. But we will see what is meant. Okay, these type of polyploids can be derived by multiplication of chromosomes from single species. Auto means if we get more than two sets of chromosomes from single species, from same species, that is autoploidy. If we can get between two species, different species, that will be the alloploidy. You can see here itself the definition, the example for, okay, from same species, we get, both are from same species. There's two sets, okay, so that's autoploidy because same species. So here itself we get, different species, we're getting different species. Okay, tetraploid, either two, it is from different species. It is an alloploidy condition, alloploidy type of polyploidy, but the number is a tetraploid. Clear? Yes. So that's are the types of polyploid. The polyploid is nothing but more than two sets of chromosomes are there. That's a polyploidy. If it is a same species, in between same species, we are getting the two sets of more than two sets of chromosomes. That is autoploidy. Between other two species, that's a alloploid. Okay. Yes. Existence of two set of chromosomes called as polyploidy. And whereas euploid is a type of ploidy which the genome contain whole set of chromosomes. We can call it as euploidy or else haploid. Okay. Yes. If it is consisting of whole set of chromosomes, that is a euploidy. Okay. Include a monoploidy, diploidy, polyploidy. Set of chromosomes or the set arrangement. The set is called as euploidy. In that, monoploidy is also considered the euploidy. Diploidy, polyploidy, triploidy, tetraploidy and pentaploidy. So it depends on the number of chromosomes we will assign. Okay. But in order to cause this polyploidy, we are having some causative agents like maybe chemicals or maybe environmental factors or maybe any other things. Okay. But the best example, yes, this one is frequently asking in our GPAT examination. Which chemical or which is used to induce the polyploidy or to cause a polyploidy? Similarly, is colchicine is the best example or best chemical still now that is using for the to cause the polyploid. Clear? Yes. That's about the polyploidy. We'll see what are the other important aspects of this polyploidy. Yes. Since then many new species have been synthesized of the fertile, that is but high period of Datura ferox and Datura stramonium by polyploidy formation. Yes, that's what does it mean is up to now so many species are new species are synthesized by means of polyploidy. For example, Datura ferox and Datura stramonium by polyploidy formation. So those are obtained by means of polyploidy formation. Okay. In some species, the somatic chromosomes, the number varies irregularly within wide limits. In the somatic chromosomes, if it is having a somatic chromosomes, the number will vary irregularly. The number will vary irregularly. That keep on changing. So such type of chromosomes or such type of set of chromosomes are known as aneuploidies. Aneuploidies. but these do not breed through, often exhibits apogametic reproduction. Okay, but they do not breed. They're not used for breed. Okay, but they exhibit apogametic or asexual reproduction. Clear? Yes. And coming to that, what are the how we can induce this polyploidy, which means colchicine. The polyploidy can be artificially induced in many plants by suitable treatment with alkaloid, that is colchicine or colchicine. Okay. Yes. The cytological effect of colchicine or dividing cell were reported by Dustin and Havers and Litz in the year of 1937. Yes. These are the person who identified. So you should remember these names also, Dustin and Havas and Litz, who discovered or who identified that effects of this colchicine on polyploidy or to division or to set of chromosomes. Okay. Yes, in the presence of colchicine, the chromosomes is undergoing the mitosis will continue to divide without the formation of the mitotic spindle figure or sister cells. Okay. Yes, this is a mitotic spindle. This thread-like structure, this blue color thread-like structure is a mitotic spindle. This will facilitate or this will divide a set of chromosomes into numbers. But this colchicine will act by without the formation or without the involvement of these mitotic spindle, it can divide. Actually these mitotic spindles will divide the chromosomes into two different sets. But this colchicine will, without the involvement of this mitotic spindle, it will differentiate into different sets of chromosomes. That's how it acts. Clear? Yes, here itself the mitotic spindle junction, nothing but here itself, that's it is maximized right over here. Okay, here mitotic spindle microtubule. So from here itself the partition will take place. So this is how the set of chromosomes will be divided into tetraploid and tetraploid, pentaploid, octoploid. Clear? Yes. We'll see the important terms in the biotechnology, plant biotechnology. Chemodyms. Can anybody tell me chemodyms? Chemodyms are regarded as a group of plant of species which are having identical morphological characteristics but differ in the chemical nature, as like the isotopes. They differ in the chemical properties but they are similar in the molecular weight. As like here, chemodyms are nothing but chemical. Demo means differentiation, simply. Chemical difference is there but identically similar. Chemo, the name is saying that they are chemically different. Chemical is different, but identical they are unique. So those are called as chemodyms. If they produce such type of things in the polyploidy or any of the plant biotechnology, if any of the plant biotechnology method, if produce this type of things are known as chemodyms. Okay. Yes, coming to that, transgenic plants. So what do you mean by transgenic plants? So by the transgenic, the name itself saying that transgenic, we are modifying in the plant biotechnology. What we are focusing, we are genetic modification will be done. Okay, the plants which are undergone for the genetical modification and transferred or they are converted into some other new species, those are called the transgenic plants. We'll see the modern techniques of genetic modification. The name itself says genetic information change. The modern techniques of genetic modification has enabled to remove the individual gene from one species to insert them to another. Yes, one gene has removed or isolated to incorporate into another gene. So after inserting, it will produce a new plant variety that is called as transgenic plant. Clear? Yes. Once it happens, offerings that will contain the copies of new gene. Yes. So after getting a transgenic plant, so the offsprings or the qualities or the triads will be carried out to the rest of the other species. Okay, after breeding, the rest of the things or the things will be having same qualities. Okay. Yes, copies of new gene can be produced in traditional manner. Okay. So by means of I have produced a transgenic plant from getting a new gene from a new plant. Okay. So I am getting one gene from a different plant and I have incorporated into one plant. Okay. So that this plant is known to be transgenic plant because another new gene is incorporated to one plant. This plant is known as transgenic plant. So this plant is having after when you breed when you further cultivate this transgenic plant, it is also producing or shows a similar qualities and properties of the both genes. Okay, yes, that's what it meant to be. Yes, introduction of foreign gene is done by genetic transformation, that is called as transfection. So sometimes they ask about the definition also, what he meant by transfection. They'll give you some options. Okay, so transfer by vector, okay, genetic transformation, they'll ask like this also. Okay, so transfection is nothing but introduction of foreign gene done by genetic transformation is called as transfection. Genetic transformation is also known as transfection. Okay, but how the process or how these plants are produced by means of transgenic plants? In this, it includes 3 steps. That is gene transfer, because genetic transfer should be done, and selection of transgenic plant, and recovery of transgenic old plant. Simple. We need to transfer the gene, so that we need to collect the gene. Then after, we need to select the transgenic plant. We need to get the gene, and also that we need to select the which plant that you are going to incorporate this isolated gene. So this is known to be a transgenic plant. Which gene you need to decide, which gene you have taken, and you need to choose which plant that you're going to incorporate this isolated gene. Clear? Yes. And after that, recovery of the transgenic old plant. After this incorporation, we will get a new plant, so that will be recovered. So we'll see what are the methods for gene transfer. For gene transfer or DNA delivery system, we are having 2 techniques. Especially first one is vector mediated. Nothing but vector means there is a vehicle mediated or vector mediated, vector free. In this vector mediated, nothing but Agrobacterium tumefaciens. So that is they'll ask how the transgenic plants are produced in vector mediated type of gene transfer. Okay, Agrobacterium tumefaciens. Should remember these examples. So in the 2017, I think so, this question was asked. In the transgenic plant, what are the vector mediators? Transgenic plants. Okay, so that is using Agrobacterium tumefaciens. And another method using viral vector. So by vector mediate, so by these 2 things we can transfer the gene. And the direct gene transfer, vector free, we can directly incorporate, we can directly insert the gene. First one is electroporation. That is electrical method, we can directly induce. And microinjection, microcapillaries or microscopic device, that is silicon carbide whiskers, are used to incorporate the gene into the transgenic plant. Sonication, we know the method. Ballistic gene transfer, bombardment gun, we used to incorporate by using bombardment gun into the transgenic plant. And chemical method, by using polyethylene glycol, PEG, it increases cell membrane, permeability of cell membrane, so that we can incorporate, and the concentration about 15 to 20 degrees 15 to 20% of the concentration of PEG is enough to increase the permeability of cell membrane. Thereby we can incorporate, direct gene transfer can be done. Okay, yes, so this is about transgenic plant. But coming to application, how they are useful. So after transgenic plants, after transfection, what are the better examples, advantages we can get? Yes, by the transgenic plant we can get a cauliflower mosaic virus promoter 350S. Okay, it is acts as a vaccine. So especially this is a cauliflower. So nothing but CMV 35S is a promoter, can regulate the production of the surface antigen in transgenic plant. Okay, so by the transgenic plants we can get a disease resistant plants or a strong plants also. So for that example, CMV 35S, which can regulate the production of surface antigen against the mosaic virus. Clear? Yes. So this is an application of polyploidy. So that's an application, and also we can get from the application of polyploidy, we can produce a different set of chromosomes. So nothing, we can get any type of plants, depends upon a requirement. Okay, based on the set of chromosomes, it is having a specific functions. Yes. Now moving to that mutation. We know that a mutation is a sudden change in the genome or sequence or nucleotide, in the genome or the DNA matter or a genetic matter, because the entire plant biotechnology deals with a gene modification. Okay, so mutation is a permanent alteration of the nucleotide sequence of genome of an organism or a virus or extra chromosomal DNA or other genetic elements. Yes, simply the the DNA pattern will be there. Okay, adenine, guanine, and all these things will be there. Okay. So in this pattern, in this arrangement, any of the nucleotide sequence, adenine, guanine, all these things, if any one of that position or the number or the place is altered with any of the reasons, that is not a mutation, change in nucleotide sequence, change in the nucleotide sequence. Okay, so these are all, we know that here the nucleus will be there, ATG, okay. So the change in the nucleotide sequence with any of the reason or sudden change is known to be the mutation, but it leads to the permanent alteration. Permanent alteration. Yes, you can see, even though we can see different types of plants, like sometimes in the in the news feed we can see the papaya seems like Lord Ganesha, and the tuber looks like an elephant nose, and a jamun fruit is bigger than the normal size, and the watermelon becomes in square shape. A watermelon becomes a larger size. A pumpkin, like how these are all mutations by the some of the environmental factors, which leads to the permanent alteration. Okay, but they doesn't come back to their normal position. So the permanent alteration because of the change in the nucleotide arrangement or sequence is known as mutation. Okay, of any of organism or virus or extra chromosomal DNA. Mutations result from error during DNA replication. Error in DNA replication during meiosis, especially the mutation will be caused in meiosis. You should remember that. Another type of damage to DNA, such may be caused by exposure of radiation and carcinogens. Mutation can be done by several reagents or several factors like mutagenic agents. The thing which produce this mutation called as mutagen. Sorry. That's called as mutagen. Exposure to like radiation, carcinogenic agents, and some of the chemicals, and all these are considered the mutagenic agents or mutagens. Okay, so which then may undergo a error-prone repair or cause an error during replication, translesion synthesis. So meanwhile, the replication they leads to some other permanent alteration, and they will they'll show us some of the physiological and morphological changes after formation. Okay, yes. Yeah, mutations may also result from insertion or deletion of segment of DNA due to mobile genetic elements. Yes, these are one type of elements, chromosomal mutations. These are one type of mutations in chromosomal type of, because in the chromosomes, okay, in the DNA, so either by insertion or by deletion or putting or by removing such pattern or sequence, the mutations can be caused. Okay, so example, I have shown you the images of beautiful flowers on the screen. So this is a mutation. This is a mutation caused by the environmental factors. Okay, here is a mutation. It is not, it's an abnormal one because of so many changes, maybe due to some of the radiation or any other factors. It is produce an abnormal thing because of the alteration in the nucleotide sequence. Clear? So this is a mutation. And what are the agents we can see, and what are the agents we can that can cause mutations? Radiation induces a mutation, develop new variety of crops. Okay, if anything, when any crop is subjected to radiation, that will lead to, or that is subjected to mutation. And now with newer, more powerful sources of radiations like UV, shortwave, X-ray, alpha, beta, and gamma rays can cause mutations. Many chemicals like mutagens like cesium, ethyl methane sulfonate, and nitromethyl or urea. So these are used as a carcinogenic agents or mutagens or chemical mutagenic agents to cause mutations, that we can increase the rate of mutations. Okay, these are agents, you should remember that. And collectively ionizing radiation, chemicals will produce the mutation spectrum. Yes, chemicals will produce a mutation spectrum. The former and however produced in chromosomes, aberrations are more random nature than chemicals which often act principally of certain loci, particularly at those areas of chromosomes which stain differently at mitosis or heterochromatin. The thing here is the ionizing radiation or chemicals will produce a mutation spectrum, but however produce in the chromosomes and abbreviations of more random nature than chemicals. Yes, this radiation and chemicals will produce more than that of the existing changes or existing pattern. Okay, and often act as a principally at certain loci, particularly that of area. So these will the chemicals and radiations will shows a significant effect on mutation by specifically targeting in some locations. Okay, yes, especially in the mitosis and other stages. Clear? And we can see by these mutations, we can see that the distribution of effects between the nuclei is more random with X-ray than the chemicals. So the X-ray radiation will cause a more effect or distribution effects in the nuclear is shown more than the chemicals by X-rays. So this is about a brief of mutations, but we'll see, sir. If you ask me, like, sir, what are the applications or what are the importance of these mutations? You're saying that the sudden change or nuclear or sudden change type of mutations. Yes, even though it can be caused by the environmental factors or induced mutations. Okay, it is caused by common or sudden mutations, or else we can induce the mutation for to get a beneficial effects. Like how by the mutation, by induced mutations, by intentional mutations, or we can perform induced mutations to get a production of new varieties. If we can change a mutation, we can produce a disease resistant plants, because we are altering gene modification, nucleotide sequence we are changing. Gene modification, by the gene modification we can get new plant varieties, disease resistant plants, high yield products. Yes, increased quality, enhancement of medical properties, active constants, drug discovery and development. So by this we can new drugs can be developed, and resistance to environmental stresses. Yes, resistant plants and biofortifications. So these are all the applications for mutations. We'll see the types of mutations. This is an important thing. We are having gene mutations and chromosome mutations. If it happens in gene mutation or gene pattern, that is a gene mutation, it can be categorized into two types, that is a point mutation and frame shift. Point mutation. In the point mutation we are having silent mutation, missense mutation and nonsense mutation. Okay, so this is point on a specific point. And frame shift mutation is nothing but entirely the frame of a DNA or the gene will be varied, either insertion or deletion will be happen, or either putting of some agents, or the pattern or genome sequence will be changed by inserting something, or maybe deletion. Okay, and the chromosome mutation, here also we are having a deletion, duplication, inversion and translocation by changing, by inverting, or by duplicating and by deletion. These are all the types of mutations we are having. Okay, yes, we'll see the important thing with respect to the GPAT examination. Okay, important mutagens. What do you mean by mutagen? Mutagen is agent or a chemical which cause a mutation in a plant or living organism. We'll see that is the classification of chemical mutagens: physical mutagens, chemical mutagens, biological mutagens. In the physical mutagens, we know that ionizing radiation or non-ionizing radiation or heat is known as physical radiation, whereas in the chemical mutagens we are having subclassification: alkylating agents, deaminating agents, intercatalytic agents. Whereas in the biological agents, in the biological mutagens, biological agents, biological infectious agents are there. I will see the examples so that we can conclude the mutations. Physical mutagens: X-rays, gamma rays, UV rays, alpha particle, beta particle, fast neutron and thermal neutron. So these are all example for the physical mutagens. Whereas coming to chemical mutagens, we are having so many chemical mutagens here. Holouracil, mitomycin, profalvin, sodium azide and nitroguanidine, nitromustard, ethyl methyl sulfate, uridine derivatives, hydroxylamine, diethyl sulfide, eccritin orange and nitrous acid. Okay, so these are chemicals. So that if you want to do some mutation by means of chemical, you need to use all these things. Okay, and finally biological mutations like some bacteria, virus and transposons. So these are the mutagenic agents. Please go through with all the chemicals and biological and physical mutagens, so that they'll give you in the GPAT examinations. They'll ask you one question. They'll give you, okay, example, and they'll ask which one is a physical and which one is chemical, which one is biological. Yes. So that's about the classification. We'll see the last one, that is a hybridization technique. We knew that hybridization. We have seen so many plants. We can see the larger plants. We can see the hybrid varieties. Nothing but hybridization is nothing but it's a process. You can see crossing of two different plant varieties or species to produce an offspring with desirable traits. Yes, I'll simply tell you that two different species are crossed, like one plant, in order to get a new variety. I know that I'm having two different species. One is having a disease resistant qualities, another one is having good yield. Okay, but this one is not having good yield, but this one is not having a disease resistant. But if I can cross these two things, if I can make a hybrid, I can get both qualities. Clear? That's what it meant to be hybrid. Okay, to get a desirable quantity, to get a desirable traits, desirable quality plants. Okay, we need to cross two different species with the two different qualities to get both qualities in one plant. That is hybridization. Yes, this technique has been widely used in agriculture, horticulture, for floriculture. Yes, because everything includes a plant. Okay, to develop a new particular cultivars with improved characters such as disease resistance. That's what I said. High yield. That's what I said. Better quality, adaptability to specific environmental conditions. Yes, to attain all these things, we need to cross two different species which are having a specific functions or specific role. Okay, yes. In plant breeding, hybridization forms a possible means of combining single variety, that is, desirable characteristics of two or more lines or varieties or species, occasionally producing new or desirable characteristics not found in either parents. Okay, that's what I said. One is having one specific function and another one is having another specific function. Both are combined or crossed to get a hybrid which is having new traits or new qualities. That's what it meant by hybridization. But it should be done in between the homozygous strains. Homozygous strains should be, okay, crossed. Okay, which have been inbreed for a number of generations, introduced to a degree of homozygosity with resultant hybrids. Vigor or heterosis often manifest the dimension of other characteristics. Yes, obviously, if you are not done with the homozygous strains, then it doesn't show any of the characteristics of the plant. Okay, so for the reason we need to cross or we need to hybrid. We need to subject the hybridization between the homozygous strains only. Okay, yes. I'll tell you a best example. You can see right over here an image that is a tobacco plant which is a hybrid variety. Usually you can see in your local areas, in your areas, the hybrid variety, the normal tobacco leaf will be, maybe if it is a very larger, it will be like up to our hand length. But you can see the image that will be a very larger because it's a hybrid variety. After crossing a two varieties, you can see. And Tomato and Siphomus and M. Silveris, these two scientists, okay, done an experiment on tobacco plant, okay, each with 12 pairs of chromosomes combined along ago to create a natural hybrid called as Nicotiana tabacum with 24 pairs of chromosomes. Okay, yes, with two species. Okay, with these two species. Okay, each of 12 pairs. So from this 12 pairs, after attaining 24 pairs, we got a plant called Nicotiana tabacum. Okay, this is not a scientist name. So these are all a plant species name. So this is an example for a 24 pair chromosome set plant called Nicotiana tabacum. Okay. Yes, this is how the exact process will be done. Two different species will be there. So after crossing them, we'll get a hybrid variety. Maybe we can get any of the specification, high yield or disease resistant and whatever it may be. Clear? Yes. Coming to that hybridization types, we can see there are three types. Intravarietal, if it is done, the crossing will be done in between the same species, same variety, that will be intra. If it will be done in between two different species, that will be intra variety. Okay. And if it is done between two different species of same genus, that is interspecific. So this is about hybridization types, and we'll see the characteristics. And also best example for that, we can get the Thuroferox and the Thurostramonium, as we have seen the Polyploidy also here itself. Okay, by hybridization also we can get the yield of the particular plants, and also the hyoscine, and the hyoscine can be produced within the 2:1 ratio by this hybrid varieties. Okay, by cross pollinating, by crossing this the Thuroferox and the Thurostramonium, we can get a beneficial effects like increasing the ratio of secondary metabolites. That's what they're saying. But what are the characteristics of hybrid? Why we need to go for hybridization? Because like hybrids are having high resistance towards the disease, they're giving a high yield capacity, they are high productivity, and they are lifelongness. These are the characteristics, and we'll see the applications, how these are applied to get or in the farm medicinal plants. Okay, yes, these can increase the yield and quality of medicinal products that we know already. Disease resistant plants can be attained. Adaptation to the environment conditions. Fruits and flower characteristics can be altered, because I have shown you that different things, different colors and different yield. Okay, seed production, and also by the hybrid variety we can get seedless fruits also. Seedless grapes and all these things are hybrid varieties. Okay, seedless grapes and all these things. And conservation and restoration of the varieties, and enhanced medicinal properties. So these are all applications of hybridization. Yes, my dear students, by the end of this session, you need to know the difference between these three plant biogenetic techniques like polyploidy, mutation, and hybridization, and with respect to their applications and their uses and their types. Okay, yes, so it is also important topic with respect to GPAT, and also as well as what descriptive examination or theory examinations. Clear, my dear students? So this is about for today's session. We'll see in the next class. Up to that, okay, have a great day. Thank you.